Hello and good morning. Welcome to a kind of cool and claggy low cloud morning at the Roaches. Let's give you a quick spin, show you this morning's environment. I'm not up super early. I think I rolled out of the house about 7 a.m, maybe a little bit earlier. There's not going to be any spectacular sunrise, that was for sure. So I didn't feel the urge to pull my boots on early when I know the weather's not going to be conducive to good shooting. And it's 50-50 whether it's going to be like that today, but could get some nice moody shots. Just to give you a quick run around the place that we've got in the fog and mist over there is Hen Cloud. Now that was fully visible about 5 minutes ago, and that's the way it's going to be today. Certainly this morning is going to be these rolling banks of cloud, and occasionally they'll look good and more often than not they won't. Just turn this way and show you that the trees, where are we there, at the base of the Roaches, been pretty foggy in there actually, but it wasn't long since I've been in there. I don't know if I want to just do the same thing over again, although I'm kind of going to, because what I'm going to do instead is go up here. You see that there? Yeah, up there to what I'd think of as the mid-tier of the Roaches. Then you walk along a path, there's lots of rocky formations and trees and views out. This is the important thing, views out across Blackshore Moor, and maybe see some of this weather rolling in. It's going to be changeable today. I understand that sort of fog and mist etc is due right through the afternoon, but also rain. And that's what I've got to be careful of. So there's two other reasons why I'm here today. So one is easy access to the car just down there. So if it does get really bad, I can womble down to the car and sit it out. Or even, maybe just drive to another location, just do a bit of scouting while I'm waiting for the rain to ease. And the other thing is, I haven't done a video for a few weeks. My foot, I have the old man's disease. I have gout. Every now and then. It's a thing that only started in my 50s. Must be my diet, because I don't drink, I don't smoke. I wouldn't say I'm well exercised, but I exercise. So it's got to be my crappy diet. And I had a run of it anyway. Starts in your foot, and then you soon feel it elsewhere, other foot. And then for the first time ever, it got my hand. Actually, I had gout in my hand, and that wasn't good. So anyway, I thought I was out of it and I was ready to come back out, and then bugger me, my foot acts up again. I've got it right now, so I've got this thing, and I've been drinking gallons of water to try and ease it off, it does seem to be having the effect required. But there you go. So that's why I've not done anything. And also, you could throw in the weather has just been up and down here in the UK. It's the usual stuff. This time last year, there was a couple of inches of snow on the ground. So, it's not unusual. But I'm gonna wander a little bit. I was tempted to go round to the barn and catch that in the mist, but I don't know if it's such a walk for the one subject. Yeah, so I'd rather risk what little health I've got getting up to the top of here, or at least to the mid-level, and do some shooting from there. This incidentally where Craig and I did the iconic shots from. Oh, feel a bit of rain already. That's not good. Anyway, we did the iconic shots from up there, and the weather was flat and dull and horrible, and he pulled a couple of good ones out. I don't think mine was spectacular. But yeah, anyway, it's enough rabbit. Let's get rolling. Almost to the spot where I can take a rest. I've only walked 2 minutes. I'm already out of breath. I do envy you, younger folk. I really do. So yeah, this is the spot where we started last time with Craigie. Very rocky. Good view of Hen Cloud when you can see it. Gateway, or former gateway. Nice, good framing opportunities there. And then we've got a view out normally across Blackshore Moor from here. We can look down into the tree zone. But I'm going to have a wander just a bit further up and see what I can see. spotted a shot I've not considered taking before. Normally I shoot out across this particular outcrop of rock, and I think today, with the way the fog is, the mist, the cloud, whatever you want to call it, the cloud, I'm going to shoot down and into it. I think there's a scene there, little steps on the side. Obviously the shape of the rock is wonderful and softened by this clag, and then there's the trees sort of prominent down there, green at the top. We've got a bit of green popping up actually. Spring is coming. Bit of a bluish tinge. Don't know if that comes across on video, but that's simply, we must have a blue sky up there and it's penetrating, making, I get this a lot, this bluish hue. I often wonder if it's just my eyes. Anyway, I'm going to set up. I think I'll even tripod this shot just to get it as sharp as I like, sort of thing. Normally I just handheld on my way up, but yeah, let's get tripod out. I did set a tripod up, but as I started looking at the environment, I felt that I didn't really need it to steady the shot or anything. There's plenty of contrast in the scene for me to, assume that the autofocus is going to work. And if push comes to shove, I can pick a particular area and manually focus, and then just go from there. So I have got a tripod out, but I don't think I'm going to need it. So I'm going to head just down the embankment here a little bit, and I'm going to shoot into the scene. There won't be much space at the top, don't need that. I'm really going to fill this image with this scene. There will be some dead space, not a problem. I think there's enough to make that work, but we'll see that. I'm just going to, I'll tell you what I'm set on, by the way. It's 60th of a second. It's quite windy. My hands, I'm human, I'm going to shake a little bit, so it's got to be pretty fast. Low f-stop, 4.5, low as this lens will go. I can put a lens on that will take it lower, and which would probably work for this actually, 50mm. But this is fine, it means I can mess about with the range. And what else? Oh yeah, ISO 200, sorry, apologies for that. I know I shouldn't. It's a bit tight. It's a bit, there's a lovely rock here with white splotches, I guess lichen on there. And if I come back a little bit, the pathway carved into the rocks kind of forms the middle bit of the image. But it's too tight. It's too tight. I do need a bit of a gap above the rock there. I'll hopefully catch some of the birds that are flying around as well. I may have to really crank up the shutter speed for that though. And then by doing that, of course, it then means I have to adapt everything else. My 15 to 35, which is the lens I'd need to use to do that, doesn't even have the f-stop. What's his gone? I'll try it with the 15 to 35. Give it a go. That is so much better. I've got everything I want in frame. It doesn't feel too distant. Yeah, so this was a good call. I'm actually shooting at about 22. So the 24 on there, it was, you could feel it was too tight. But with, 20, 22, I mean, if I'll just rock it down to 20. Yeah, still very good. And of course, big megapixel camera, I can crop in very safely this tiny bit, so I could shoot at the wider angle and and be a bit more, what can you say, cheaty and crop into the bit. But no, I'm going to shoot at what I expect it to come out as. But I'm happy with this. I think this is a nice shot. I am going to switch the lens back again because I feel I'm going to want to reach a bit further in. So let's get that done. A lot of drizzle, and also changing temperature because it's relatively warm today, considering so I'm going to get condensation, that kind of thing. So just keep an eye on your lenses when you're out in this kind of weather before you take your shot, else you're going to end up with rain spatters or condensation. Fog where it needn't be. It's starting to thicken up, so I've got to move. Oh well, easy come, easy go. It's already gone, blanketed. So you got, I guess that's the danger of vlogging, isn't it? You want to share with people what's going on, but the weather isn't really considerate of that. It just does what it wants. So it has sticking up. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Just before I go from here, from this spot, I'm going to try and capture a shot with one of the birds at least flying around this formation. It's going to need a pretty high shutter speed for that. I'm going to have to really ramp up the ISO. About 800. So that's what I'm going to do. See if I can just catch one with a bird flying around it. Look at that big open patch again. But I'll do this now off camera so I don't keep missing it. You know, every time I come through this part of the roaches, I bitch and moan about how many trees have been cut down, and I'm not going to stop now. I'm going to do it again. But it's just that normally when I come through here, and I don't do it very often, I get some great avenue shots, and you'd think today with all this mist I'd be rolling in it, but no, because I mean, there's trees, but it's just not what it was. So many are down. It really pisses me off. Okay, got a decision to make now. I could, after a fairly disappointing walk through the mid-tier there, I could go up to the top, see behind me, or I could go back down and through the woodland and maybe get some foggy, woody shots. But I did Padley Gorge in the last video, which quite a few people saw, which is nice, and it's going to be hard to top that. I actually feel that a little bit as a vlogger, that the last one was pretty good, as in, you know, the reward for me and hopefully for you, whereas this is probably going to be quite boring. But I think I will. I think I'll go up the top, even though it's mostly just rocks and fog right now. It may clear up and I'll get some shots right at the end of Hen Cloud. So that's the plan. I'm going to give that a whirl. I think I've got this place to myself, you know. There wasn't a single car on the parking area when I got here this morning, and there still isn't, which is incredible. When the fog cleared, I had to look over the bank at the road, see if anything had turned up. There's nothing. So it's just me, the rocks, the fog and the wildlife, which is really nice. I used to get this a lot. In the early videos, you'll see I'm always remarking on how incredible it was that I was all on my own in these beautiful places. But it's first day back at term for the kids, so you know the window is passed to try and lose one or two of them, bringing them up here and letting them fall off the rocks. It's February, so the weather's shite, of course, and yeah, I haven't even seen people bring their dogs this morning. It's good, I like it. Have a bit more of this, thank you. Well, here I am at the top end of the roaches, this end anyway, roach end, slightly different view. Today's chocolate is brought to you by Nestle Crunch. I'm not sponsored in any way by Nestle, nor am I likely to be. I also have some nice Lipton raspberry iced tea, and I've got a big bottle of water down there which I'm going to drink when I get back to help with this gout situation. So the morning so far, I think I got some nice shots down there. Hopefully you've seen those already and you can judge, but other than that, it's been a bit lackluster, and I kind of come here on days like this with that expectation. I've been up here many times, and this is the only tip I'm going to give you, is when the weather is shocking, at least go somewhere you know, because then you're not disappointed. Your expectations are lowered, and then if you do get some cracking shots, all the better. But better than wasting the fuel, the time, your patience on going to a new place when the weather is, let's say, uncertain, and being gravely disappointed, because that can put you off going out. You know, I've had quite a few people message and I've spoke to that have said, oh, they found it difficult to get back out, and currently with the weather being up and down, you know, photography is like very low down on their priority. No, that's cool, you know, that's fine. But for me, I can't wait to get out, get away from everything else. That's what I do with this. I get away from it. It cost me a fortune. I damaged all my gear. Look, I ripped my jacket. But this is my it's my good times, you know. Even when the weather is shocking, it gives me something to moan about at the very least. So I highly recommend that if you've spent most of winter hibernating, and fair play, perhaps now's the time to start looking at the weather. Interesting weather as well, by the way. You know, if it's just like dull every single day, that's what kills your pig. But if it's interesting, if it's a bit windy and a bit cloudy, and a bit rainy, and then a bit sunny, and you get a bit of fog, and there's a bit of ice even, that's interesting weather, and at least that breaks it up a little bit. It's the monotonous, dull grey of England that gets to me. And you could argue that this is pretty much that, but I had to come to here to get this, because in Stoke it's raining. Out in the peak, further in the peak, it's raining. The Roaches for me is kind of unique because it has its own little microcosm of weather, and I can pick, because I know it so well, I can pick which bit I want to go to for a particular kind of scene and try it out there, see if the weather's going to be conducive to those shots. So there you go. That's just know where you're going if the weather's crap. Know where you're going, and set your expectations low, because you may still walk away with good shots, and at the very least you'll have enjoyed, like I've had this today, all to myself. You can enjoy some solitude and do some thinking, or maybe not do some thinking. It all works. Right, I'm going to eat my chocolate now. I was going to hopefully see hen cloud come out of this rolling fog, but I think this is with us for quite a while. I will stick around for a bit. I'm in no rush. I've no particular place to go. We'll see. Listen, if I wrap here, and bear in mind I could do some stuff on the way back, so this is maybe a preemptive wrap. Thanks for coming along. I had a tremendous response to the last video, but it was a very interesting place, and it was a very interesting day, and I had fantastic photographs. But not everyone's going to be a banger, so I do appreciate you when you stick around. Thanks. Like, share, follow, subscribe, donate, all that kind of stuff.